So another show, Yellowstone, which I've never seen. I've never really even heard anything about it. It's about some Western family living out in the frontier, from what I understand, or they're just living in rural America. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the show, but one thing that I have heard is that it's not woke, and that seems to be something that people are looking for, as the finale for the show reached 11 million people, which, as they point out here in the Daily Mail, is more people that tuned in that's more people than actually tuned in for the season 3 finale. So this show is gaining viewers. Why is that? Well, as they point out here, it's apparently a non-woke series. Going with the point that I've been trying to make over the past couple of weeks, that if you just make good stuff and don't put a message in there, people will show up and watch it. So maybe I'll check this show out, because I'm always looking for something good to watch that's not trying to preach to me about being some kind of terrible person. Apparently, this thing was just destroying everybody in the ratings. So, not too surprising. Look at this. Rising viewership. Season 3, 5.2 million, compared to Season 4's 9.3 million. That's pretty impressive, I gotta say. Don't really know much about the show, but what I do know is I like non-woke entertainment. So maybe I'll check it out. I mean, I talked about this yesterday with Cobra Kai. Blowing up in the ratings. Why? Because it's just a good show. And this show even has a ton of diversity. Nobody cares, because the show's not trying to push that as the reason to watch the show. What it wants you to do is watch a show because it's good and it delivers. And we had it with Spider-Man recently. Spider-Man, one of the biggest movies of all time now. Why? Because it gives people what they want. That's good entertainment with no stupid-ass message trying to tell you you're a terrible person. That's all anybody wants. But they keep trying to walk it back and going back to this crazy bullshit. Like, nobody wants it, but they don't listen. I'm hoping, as Hollywood becomes broker and broker, like, more stuff like this pops up. And I would imagine that this show is probably pretty cheap to make, considering, from what I understand, it takes place in rural America. So you're really not like busting big dollars for sets or anything for this show. So this show is probably going to keep going as long as people keep watching it, because it's cheap to make. I would imagine the most money they spend on is on Kevin Costner's salary, since he's, from what I can see, the only one there with like real star power. So that's probably the biggest budget. That's probably the biggest hit to their budget, is paying him. Another story that I wanted to touch on is the CW is for sale. Warner is getting rid of some of their stuff, and they want to get rid of the CW network. It's jointly owned by Viacom CBS and Warner Media. Now, what's funny about this is if anyone buys this network, they're fools. This network has ran itself into the ground trying to push the message. And I mean, look at this chart of their ratings. Man, doesn't this costume look cheap? Everything about this. The only good thing that's come from the CW is Superman and Lois, in my opinion. Superman and Lois, at least for now, is a good show. Everything else on the network is shit. Look at these ratings. Walker, 9.34, or 0.934. The Flash, 0.72. All-American, 0.58. Legends of Tomorrow, 0.52. Batwoman, their biggest disaster, 0.44. And it goes on and on and on. Like, look at Riverdale, 0.29. That's embarrassing. Like, imagine paying for this network. Like, whoever buys this, they should probably fire whoever gives them advice on things to buy. But on the other hand, what if somebody bought it and decided to fire all of the people that are attached to these awful properties and like make them good? And I guess that's another question. If you buy the CW, do you still get access to all of these TV properties? Do you still get Warner's DC Comics and properties to make like TV shows out of? I guess that's another question too, because just because you buy the network, does that necessarily mean that you get the rights to use all of these DC comic book characters? Or you just get the network? That's a pretty good question that I don't know if they actually address in here. It's just funny to me, like, who would buy this? Is there anybody that associates the CW with good things? Like, nobody's watching this shit anymore. Like, the only people watching Riverdale are probably the 10% of people on Twitter that drive the platform. But then again, even they don't tune into stuff because Batwoman will trend all day and night when it has a new episode that comes out, and the ratings don't go up or down. They don't change at all. Like, all of this posturing to Twitter and advertising on Twitter doesn't change anything for Batwoman. That's what you get. A woke ass superhero show will get you not even 500,000 people. It's pretty pathetic. So I don't know what's going to happen with CW. I am interested in seeing if somebody actually buys this pile of shit. If that happens, that's going to be incredibly hilarious. And I will definitely make fun of whoever buys it, because what a lousy investment. Unless they get to keep the rights to making the Arrowverse stuff. And if they get to do that and they actually fire everybody that makes the shows and brings on people that actually make good shit, I wonder if they could turn that around. Or is the brand just too destroyed? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey,